guys, this is an odd setup. I know, I lost the daylight so I can't film where I usually film, but I hope this is good enough. I'm trying not to move too much because that could fall at any moment, and so yeah, I'm going to try and stay really still and get through this review. Okay, I will talk about spoilers at some point, but I'll warn you before I do. Overall, I really liked it. I think that I read the book a while ago, so I don't remember really what happens. But as far as I could remember, it's, everything that I thought should be in there was in there. I don't remember anything specific being left out, but then again, I haven't read it for a while, so I don't know. I thought it was very easy to follow, and yeah, I liked it. Now onto the spoilers, which is like the main part. I didn't even know that there would be a spoiler, but I think I heard that there was like a twist ending or a surprise ending, and I didn't really know what that was about. I remember in the book that they sort of like built up to this fight, and there was not a fight. And then, honestly, when the fight came in the movie, I was like, wait, Carlisle dies? Wait, everyone dies? Like, I knew that it wasn't in the book. Well, actually, I didn't know. I was like, did I miss this part? Like, did I really forget that all these people died in the book? And then I thought, okay, this is the surprise ending, is that they're changing the entire ending because the book ending wasn't good. And then, literally, like, obviously, you've seen the movie, it goes to that whole fight scene, and everyone, like, is going crazy. And then, you just snap back to the past, and it's like, that didn't even happen. And I swear, like, everyone in the theater was just like, what? Are you kidding? Like, it was just such a letdown, but, I don't know, like, Stephenie Meyer's ending is the letdown, so, that's inevitable. Like, it's gotta be in there. You have to be let down at some point. But the fight scene, I'm glad that they put the fight scene in it. It was a weird way because obviously they had to figure out how can we make this ending better without getting rid of her ending and making it not true to the book. So they had like a little dream sequence, if you will, of a better ending, and so they had like the best of both worlds in a way. So I mean, it was weird, but I was fine with it. I'm glad that they did it, but it still was very odd. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. This movie was so, like, I didn't have the feeling of like, oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. I think that's just because I didn't love the second part of the book. So I wasn't really looking forward to that much. I was sort of just like worried about the whole thing ending, and like I was just sad about that. But I have like mixed feelings about this movie. I mean, I did really like it, but I don't feel like that it's finished feeling that I sort of want to feel. I almost feel like I'm still waiting for something. I don't know. Another thing that I want to mention is that these people get paid a lot of money, and they're good at what they do, but it's still always surprising to me that after all this time, 4 or 5 years or whatever, after the first movie, that they're still able to jump right into these characters and have it be like they haven't even left. Kristen Stewart still acts like the same Bella from the Twilight movie, and some of you may not like that, but it's true that she's able to jump right back into it. The same with Rob Pattinson, he's able to jump right back into it. Everyone is, it's like all these years later and they're still like right back to the original people, which I thought was pretty cool. Obviously they get, like I said, they get paid a lot of money, so they better do a good job, but still, it's a lot of time. I can't even believe like how many years has gone by. It's crazy. And that's another thing, is at the end of the movie when they show the montage with with Bella and Edward, and they go back to the old movies, it didn't like gut me, but like I think they wanted it to. I don't know why. I definitely wasn't like tearing up or anything, but it was sort of weird because I think the thing that made me sad about it is more like every time, and this is going to be really like corny, so be aware of that. I know that. But every time that they showed like Bella in Twilight and Bella in New Moon and stuff like that, I was like, oh, she's so much older now. That was so long ago. And then I was thinking like, oh, I remember so many things from that movie and New Moon and all those things. Like I have so many memories attached to all those movies. So I was like thinking of myself like, oh, I'm so old now. Like I was thinking about my past self, and you know what I mean? So that aspect made me sad, because like watching Bella and Edward like grow up, I was sort of like watching myself grow up. Not that I'm them, but like I have memories attached to them. I'm sure if you're not a big fan of the Twilight series, then you obviously don't feel that. But if you've been following it, since the first movie, and you really love the series like I do, then maybe you feel that way too. I don't know. I have a little bit of a rant also. I felt from the beginning, the first movie, they made a big mistake in Bella's appearance. Bella was not supposed to look like she had styled hair. She was not supposed to look, like a, movie star. And although she totally, she didn't wear makeup or anything, well, she did wear makeup, but not like a lot. Her hair was styled and waved and curled, and she never had, like, a hair out of place, even from the first movie. And I always thought that was such, nonsense, because in the books she always talks about how she doesn't do her hair and she doesn't have time and it's always a mess and stuff like that, but they didn't carry that into the movie. And that's because I actually asked the director of one of the movies, I don't remember which one, but I said to him, I was like, it was on Twitter, and I was like, how come Bella in the movies doesn't look anything like Bella in the books? You know, how they describe her? And he was like, because everyone in the movies has to look good. So I was like, okay, yeah, I know that, And so that's why they did that. Because although the Bella in the books is not supposed to look like the Bella in the movies, how they did her, they had to do it because, God forbid, we have a lead character with frizzy hair, so that the rest of us could relate. Yeah, God forbid we do that. But, so because of the fact that she had, like, nicely styled hair, she always looked put together in all the movies, which did not reflect her character at all. The transformation from human Bella to vampire Bella was not that big of a deal. She did look a lot better as a vampire, but it wasn't like, it just wasn't that big difference that there should have been, and that there probably was when I got reading the books. I was like, oh, this Bella, human Bella looks like this, and now vampire Bella looks like, amazing. And I didn't feel that in the movies. Again, she did look a lot better. She looks a lot more polished, I guess. But that's really it. I mean, her hair has always been, pretty much the same in every movie. If you look before, actually the first scene of Breaking Dawn Part 1, I think it's the first scene where Bella and Alice are talking, and Bella's trying on the shoes, the wedding shoes, and her hair is like styled. She has on like a nice leather jacket. I'm like, you're not even a vampire yet. You're still a human. Why do you look so good? You know what I mean? So, yeah, anticlimactic because of poor choices that they made throughout the movies. But it was so cool to see her as a vampire, and I really didn't think it was going to be that cool. Like, everyone was like, oh, she's going to be a vampire in this one, and I always thought, like, well, it can't be that much of a difference, but it was pretty cool. I loved how they did, like, how she could see everything really clearly, and she could hear really well, and that was really cool. I hadn't thought of it like that, so I like that they did that. And it was funny to see how, like, Vampire Bella and Vampire Edward, like, together now, it's, like, super duper everything, like, to the 10th power. Like, it was just funny. It's such a guilty pleasure, like, that's why we all like it. Like I said, or actually I didn't say this, I was thinking, though, it's like Pinterest, like, you put all these, like, you have a house decor board and all this stuff, and you have, like, all these ideas, but then in Twilight, it's like that come to life. Like, you get all your dream shoes, like the closet in their new house, she had a closet with shoes and clothes, and it's like, every girl's dream is, the end of this movie. So, yeah, if anyone's puzzled by why people like this movie, that's why. And Renesmee, I didn't even talk about her yet. I thought the baby looked fake, but whatever. Just didn't move at all. It looked like a little robot. I know it was CGI, but still. It was cool. The actress does look like Kristen and Rob a lot, so that was really cool. I didn't really feel like Kristen and Rob had any sort of real connection with her. It just sort of felt, especially after she turns into a vampire, and then they're like spending all their time together, and then they're like, oh wait, I have a baby. It's like, I feel like the baby was such like a secondary worry, and like they were obsessed with themselves. And then it was like, oh yeah, let's go look at the baby, and then let's go away, and then let's go look at her again. You know what I mean? I didn't get this, and I felt it more in the book, I think, but I didn't get that as much in the movie. They just didn't really seem to care. They told Charlie that it was their adopted, niece, And I almost sort of felt like that. Like their cover felt more real than as if they really had her for real. Just because of how they acted towards her. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't want to keep, talking on and on about it, but I feel sad and weird about it, and I really am upset that it's ending, that it's over. Like I said, I have so many memories attached to each movie. I was in high school when the first movie came out, so it's sad. But at least we have the movies to watch. Those will never go away. The movies are like, okay, let's go here for a second. The movies are like the vampires because the movies are stuck in time and they never change. And the vampires never change. Get it? So that's why. I think I've been talking too much. Anyway, so yeah, the movies, we'll always have them. They'll always be the same. And they'll always take us back to the memories that we had. So that's good. And let me know what you thought of it. I can't really think of anything else. I hope I'm not forgetting anything major, but yeah, those are my thoughts. Again, I'm sorry if the lighting is not good and if the camera's shaky. I'm trying to do the best with what I have, and I want to get this up by tonight. So comment below, thumbs up, and subscribe, and that's it. Thanks for watching.